Conversations with Nicole. Let's talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I wanna know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about, let's talk about, yeah. Let's talk about Conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host, and Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Mindset Monday, which is an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to chat about something interesting and intriguing. And tonight, my very special guest is my friend and my partner in Cocktails and Conversations Crime, Miss Sonia B. She is a sexologist and intimacy coach. And we are talking menopause. Girl, it's not just you, menopause one-on-one. We actually have launched our Making It Through Menopause virtual community group for women, which we did a pre-launch in November, but we'll fully launch this coming Sunday. So this is just a little taste of what we'll be covering in that virtual session. But before I bring Sonia on, I want to hear from you. Where are you tuning in from? We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn. And your comments and questions are very much so welcome. I have missed you all. I've been out since December 15th. I had a very nice break. Went to visit my son, which was really great. And just had a restful time, which I absolutely needed. But I'm so glad to be back. 2026 is about to be epic. We got a lot going on, and we want you to be part of it. We are marking 10 years of Conversations with Nicole in March. Super excited and delighted about that. If you're interested in getting involved with those celebrations and commemorations, definitely hit me up. Conversations with Nicole, that's Nicole at gmail.com for more information. So yes, but again, your comments and questions are very much so welcome in this space, in this room. This is a safe space for us to communicate. So tag a friend, especially your lady friends, your sisters, your aunties, your mamas. We talking about menopause, perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause. It's a hot topic, literally. And so we want to, engage in this conversation. So I see a few folks on, but no comments as of yet. And that's all right, because we know you'll be joining our conversation in just a little bit. But I am going to go ahead and share some of Miss Sonia B's bio. So if you all will just bear with me one moment. There we go. All right. Sonia B is a certified clinical sexologist, intimacy coach, healer, and entrepreneur dedicated to helping women reclaim their power and embrace pleasure in every area of life. Through her company, Sonia Benson Coaching and Events, she curates transformative spaces for women to connect, heal, and celebrate themselves. She is the curator and host of Sex with Sonia, a podcast and YouTube series that will be launching very soon that explores sexuality, spirituality, and self-care. She also co-creates collaborative community experiences such as Cocktails and Conversations and the Poom Poom Party with yours truly. And these events are designed to spark honest dialogue, healing, and joy. So, with her unique blend of wisdom, warmth, and wit, Sonia makes even the most taboo conversations feel natural, liberating, and fun. Y'all help me welcome my friend, my sister, Sonia B.
Hey, here we are.
Yeah. One more again.
Back again. I know, right? One more again.
Yes, yes,
You're
yes.
talking about menopause.
Yes, talking about menopause. menopause, the hot topic. I'm telling you, everywhere I go,
My
that's what
hot
the ladies are
topic.
talking about.
That's a hot topic.
Yes. All right, Sonia. So tell the people who may not know who Sonia B is. Who are you in your own words? Not what you do, but who are you?
Okay, so I would say I was just thinking about that. I'm like, Nicole's gonna ask you who you are. You better
Right.
come up with something. I'm a truth teller, and a share of good news. And so I would say that whenever I get something that I'm like, oh my God, people need to know about this, it's to me, it burns in my heart to share it, to call people and tell people about it. So I'm always trying to make sure people know what's happening. And so I like to say that I like to share. I'm a sharer.
Love it, love it, love it. And indeed you are. Indeed you are. So glad to have you on. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes, it's 2026. What
Yeah,
in the world is happening?
I
Yes.
know. Fifth day already. It's flying by already. But
It is. Yeah, I know, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yes. All right. So we got a few folks that have finally chimed in. My mom is here. Thank you for being here.
Oh, hey, Mom.
We got Mr. John White in Duval.
Hey, John.
Please tag your lady friends. Tell them they need to be on here.
Right.
Miss Sophia in the
Hey,
Atlanta area.
Sophia.
Peace and blessings. Thank you for being here. All right. And Warren Cave is on.
Hey,
Hello,
Warren.
family and friends. The world's greatest Poom Poom co-host, Miss Sonia B. Yes,
Yes, the Poom
yes,
Poom Twins.
it is. It is. We gotta educate the people. Let them know.
We gotta educate them.
Mm,
Hello. Again, that's how I wind up that's how we wind up even talking about this, because it's like as I know, as I learn stuff, I'm like, oh, people need to know. We need to know. So
mhm,
it's just like, who
Listen,
we gonna tell?
who
Who are we going to tell?
need to tell them? All right, Warren said, "Are we going to get to the root of why Climax made their record?" Oh my
Oh,
God.
the menopause.
Mhm.
Here we go. The comedy starts early.
And early, early. All right, and Marcella, my cousin Marcella in Virginia,
Hey
thank you
there.
for being here. All right, appreciate you. So, our topic tonight is girls. It's not just you.
It's not just no, it's everybody.
Right.
First of all, you will not get you will go through menopause.
Mhm.
That's just a biological fact. Now, how you will go through it,
That's
that
the
remains to be seen.
So it's rare that, and when we say go through, we'll talk about that in just a minute. But I have run across like two people that have had no symptoms whatsoever that are in their 50s or 60s. And when I say no symptoms, like even the uncommon symptoms they have not
And
had.
yeah, they're like none of it. None of
Hmm.
it. Yeah, well, their body just did a great job of regulating those hormones, or or them dealing with the fluctuating hormones.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right, right. Yeah,
But most women don't get out unscathed in some form or fashion.
indeed, indeed,
Yeah.
indeed. So before we kind of dive in, just in case folks aren't around towards the end of the conversation, but I hope they do stick around, I want to share the information about the event coming up on Sunday.
Yes.
Mhm. So this is our making it through menopause event. We have our January sister circle that we are kicking off. If you did not attend the pre-launch event in November, this event will actually be at no cost to ladies that are interested if they did not attend the event in November. But it'll be at 6 o'clock. The registration information is on the screen, but I'm going to also put it in the comments. But this is just going to be an opportunity for the ladies to come together and just have an open dialogue about menopause. We'll talk about some of the things that we're talking about tonight. So this is kind of a
Yes.
peek at what we will cover on Sunday. But some women are really suffering in silence, um,
Girl.
thinking that there's something wrong with them, thinking that
Mhm.
they are the only ones, thinking that they are losing their minds.
Yeah.
Um, mhm.
Mhm. and
Yeah.
not even realizing it's menopause.
Right.
Or yeah, exactly, because if you're not having hot flashes, or if you're having all of these symptoms in addition to hot flashes, and you have no idea that, oh yeah, no, hot flashes is just like
Mm,
one little piece of the puzzle. There's so many things that could be happening.
mhm.
So yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned that first meeting, because we had, what, 66 women register and 50 in attendance. It was amazing. And the level of things that we talked about, at one point, I know I was in tears,
Mhm.
because I was just like, it just warmed my heart so much for everyone to be sharing,
Yeah.
and for women to be discovering. And I remember one specific person saying, one woman saying, I asked my doctor, am I in menopause? And he said, the doctor said, I don't know. Like, if I don't ask my doctor, who do I like
Right.
that was his response to that. So
Yeah.
just in terms of the level of place of the level at which can be not, possibly not supported,
Mhm.
and not really getting all the information. So this is part of why we're curating this experience, so that we're put in the face of experts. We're put in the face of people that have gone through this process, and
Mhm.
have learned a thing or two, and can tell you, "Oh, girl, yes, this is what I discovered."
Mhm.
So that we're not navigating it by yourself.
So you're not navigating it by yourself. Absolutely. So the link is in the chat. So register.mtmsupportcircle.com. So folks can go there to register, and it's going to be a good time. We're going to have a great conversation. And,
Yes,
again, we're covering all phases of menopause. So peri, menopause, and post.
yeah,
So women, whatever phase or you know uh, place they are in this life-changing process, we want to engage them. So we have some more folks that have joined us. Shanita, happy new year, thank you for being here. And John wants to know, do men experience menopause?
that's a good question. Well, I have to say, John, I am not a specialist as it relates to men's experience, but yes, men do go through fluctuating hormones as well. So there is a shift for men. I would have to do some research before I could speak to it. But yes, there is supposed to be something adjacent, or parallel,
Mhm.
that men experience as well in terms of aging.
All right.
Yeah.
So Warren wants to know, when a woman says she's hot for menopause, does it mean open the window, get a fan, or pray? Let us men know. All of the above. How about
Right,
that?
exactly. Open a window. The window's not going to be enough, though. The air needs to be moving, so there does need to be a fan, and you do need to pray, or at least just
Hmm.
kind of tuck out of the way, so that
Right.
so that
Right.
you don't catch none of these fire.
Under this smoke. Right.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So that sounds like that was all of the above
Mhm.
answer.
All right. And Tracy Gole just joined us. Thank you for being here, Tracy. Happy New Year to you. All right. So let's start. I think we talking menopause one-on-one. So let's start by defining what it is.
What it is? Well, first of all, it is a transition in a period in life where our bodies are transitioning. So similar to what we know about adolescence, when we know that, okay, all of these hormones are happening, and your body is going through all these transitions,
Mhm.
and these hormones are shifting because you are now changing from being a woman who is not able to bear life, to someone who is now menstruating and bringing forth life.
Right.
Well, menopause is, of course, now the moving from being a menstruating woman into being a woman who now no longer is at the phase of creating eggs, and menstruating and bringing forth life.
Mm.
Basically, being able to be impregnated.
Right.
Um, and because of that change, it it actually is also it has a lot to do with hormones. Usually the symptoms and things that we're experiencing have a lot to do with the hormones that we're experiencing while that transitioning is happening. So when
Mhm.
menstruation stops for women, um, then your body is going through all of these fluctuating hormones, specifically estrogen, which is actually it's not just declining. So often we think that it's an automatic that okay, estrogen is just going down. No, it is actually fluctuating. So it may be going up and down, up and down, up and down. And as a result of that of those fluctuations, we often see a lot of have experienced a lot of fluctuation, not fluctuation, symptoms in your body
Mhm.
because of how of those changes. And
Right.
so I have a nice little list at some point that I want to go through about estrogen and all the estrogen touches.
Yes.
Often we think of menopause just having to do with reproduction, but because estrogen is a part of because those hormones are fluctuating, or that hormone is fluctuating, it actually estrogen impacts almost all of your body. So it actually impacts so many different functions or systems in your body. So it's not just a matter of okay, we're just going to shut down the ability to have children.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then of course there's broken into. You mentioned earlier perimenopause
Mhm.
and menopause and then postmenopause. And so peri is it's when you are just starting to those that fluctuation is just starting. So you're not you may still be menstruating and the cycles can kind of change in regularity. For some women that are regular and have cycles every single month, they
Mhm.
may start maybe skipping months, maybe skipping several months.
Right.
But what's happening is the estrogen is cycling or fluctuating in terms of the levels. And
Mm.
then menopause is when you've actually gone 12 months without a cycle.
Mhm.
That's when you've officially hit menopause, and then everything after that is post. So then it's then the possible declining of those symptoms as you get further as I guess your those hormones start leveling out and you start getting to a new normal as it relates to your hormonal levels.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the short of all of that is that it's complicated.
It's complicated. So really, yeah, because what we're wanting to do is to just one define and recognize the biology part of it. But what we're also going to do is, and that's part of why we have making it through menopause. We're going to bring in the experts so that they can actually then really, like, we want to hear from the mouths of some of these doctors and some folks to break down and really explain to us what we're experiencing and also answer our questions because often,
Mhm.
I think because there's so many symptoms and so many things that people are experiencing, it's helpful to be able to ask, like, well, I've experienced this. Is that normal? I think
Mm.
a lot of what we recognize as women, just even wondering, is this normal? Is this so, am I okay?
Yes.
And
Yes.
also, what can I do?
What can I do? All right,
Mhm.
we got a couple of questions. I guess it's the men's night tonight because they got all the
Oh,
questions tonight. All right, so Warren wants to know when the woman says she's experiencing menopause, does it mean giving a freezing AC, giving her candy or the remote? When is it safe to come out of hiding?
oh, poor Warren. Yeah, Warren, you're just over there going through it. Well, I would now in terms of the freezing AC, that's not necessarily always the answer because sometimes it needs to be freezing and sometimes it needs to be sometimes it's too cold. So, that yeah, so that it's a matter of it's really more so what is she saying she needs in the moment. And
Mhm.
so one of the things that we've talked about and we're talking about in the membership is how our needs are changing. And so we're one as individuals needing to learn what our new needs are
Mhm.
and then be able to communicate that to your family, to yourself, first of all, to be aware of it for yourself so that you're treating yourself differently, but also so that you're communicating it to your family and friends so they
Absolutely.
understand your new needs. But I guess yeah, she needs the remote, she needs everything.
Every
Oh,
don't tell us it's complicated when it's life threatening to us. It's not fair.
yeah, I can understand that because yes, are men going through it as a relate when women are experiencing menopause? The answer to that is the short answer is yes.
Mm,
And I think that part of what we're doing in terms of educating is the more that we learn our own bodies and learn what we need to do for ourselves and are able to communicate that. And in
yes.
addition, the more that we even teach that we teach men so that you understand what women are going through. I mean, I think it would be great if we had a menopause 101 meeting for the men to come in and have a conversation and talk about what's happening so
Mm,
that you kind of have a better understanding. Because a big part of why Nicole and I talked about doing this is because we know that most of us have been blindsided. Like it wasn't something that nobody in my life was like, oh yeah, this is what you can expect. No, it just rolled up on you. You're talking about menopause doing a drive-by and it's not friendly.
listen, roll up is exactly what it did. And like you said, it is not friendly. It's gangster.
It is gang. Hello.
It's
So
straight
if
gang.
you think your life is being threatened, she feels like her life is being threatened as well.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So John's question is, so if you go 11 months and have a cycle, does the clock start all over?
It does.
Absolutely does.
It does. It
Yep.
does. You're considered not to have reached menopause yet, until they see 12 months. And I know for myself personally, I did that like maybe about 2 or 3 times.
Mm,
Went It seemed like almost a year and thought, "Okay, good, I'm free and clear," and boom. And then it started I had to start all over again, and then it started all over again. So, yes, the answer to that is yes. Yeah,
mhm,
they really want, yeah. So not until you are 12 months and done.
mhm. Indeed. So his follow-up question is the experience different for African queens?
That's a good question. That would be something that would be interesting to explore, and
Yeah.
maybe even ask doctors if there's a difference. Because of course we know some of our symptoms vary also based on nutrition,
Mhm.
based on lifestyles, and so there may be, yeah, they may experience that differently. Right now, I think we have not even begun to touch on that because we're still trying to understand what's happening to us specifically, but it would be interesting to explore that.
Indeed, indeed. All right.
Yeah.
So we got a few more folks that have joined us. Marlene, thank you for being here. And Sophia said, are there any ties between brain fog, cognitive decline, and dementia as it relates to menopause and estrogen levels?
Is there any ties to specifically? So I'm not sure about the question. So brain fog and cognitive decline. Well, brain fog specifically is a symptom of menopause, and it
Mhm.
has to do with the estrogen levels because estrogen affects so many parts of our bodies, including your brain. And actually, let's see. I'm going to pull up what I have about it impacting your um, the brain fog and the cognitive abilities. Oh, I'm sorry, it's this page here, because yeah, so it does actually. People notice that it impacts um the ability, the cognition, memory, and verbal recall, which I feel so frustrated constantly asking Nicole, like, what word? What's that word? What's that word? So yeah, it does impact the cognition because of the estrogen. So there are a lot of bodily functions where estrogen actually is supporting, and when the estrogen declines, those things either they're impacted in some form. Now, I'm not sure if you're asking if there's a tie between having that, and then does that mean that that's a high likelihood that you will have dementia? I'm not sure if that's the question that's being asked.
Yeah, Sophia, give some if you could give some clarity. I think she's just asking about each one of those as it
Mhm.
relates to menopause and estrogen levels, but I could
Okay,
be wrong. So provide some clarity if you can.
got it. Yeah.
She said brain fog is definitely a symptom of estrogen levels being off.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, yes. It's not always the doctors. Oh, that's Janita. I'm sorry, not yes. Yeah, it's not always the doctors don't understand, it's the patient's lack of proper communication. Yeah, sometimes that can be the case, for sure.
Sometimes it is, yeah. Yeah, the patients are. So sometimes if patients are not aware of one, what they're even experiencing,
Right.
and that it could be menopause related, because as we did in the very first show that we did,
Mm-hmm.
rattled off 50 different over 50 symptoms
Yeah.
as it relates to menopause. But often, if you're not aware that that could be a symptom of menopause, based on what we've learned, we've heard, oh, hot flashes. So then that's all you're looking for. You're not realizing, oh, I'm going to experience brain fog, unless somehow you've actually learned that. So often, I would say women are not prepared, even when they go to talk to their doctors about,
Mhm.
okay, yes, this is what's happening for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then not and probably even sweeping some of that under the rug, just thinking it's just them, and
Yeah.
then like you mentioned earlier, that they're just going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Janita also said, I think in general people have a hard time communicating what is going on in their body to the people that can help. Like I literally
Mm,
have had to give my mom a script to take to her doctor.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, and how sometimes people feel either intimidated and I'm sure there's all sorts of level of insecurity when being in the face of a medical professional. And usually the doctor's appointments are not, it's not like there's a huge amount of time that you generally have. Usually you're in and out.
Yeah.
And so, because I know one of the doctors that comes and speaks at the events that we do, she mentioned, she's like, I would really love to be able to talk to my patients like this, but insurance doesn't allow us this type of time. So that's
Mm-hmm.
part of why we're having the experts come in as well, because we want to give space so that we can ask these type of questions and say, yeah, so what is this and what does that mean and what does that mean, and really hear it from the mouths of the professionals, but in a space where you feel a lot more safe to bring up those questions. And then
Yes.
also, as we're learning from each other, you're hearing, oh wow, somebody else is saying this about her experience about menopause. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Right. And maybe something that they used, or whether it's a medicine or a herb or some type of movement or exercise, maybe it worked well for them. And you might have not even thought to do something like that, and it might work well for you. So that's the value, or one of the values of the sister circle, I believe, in my personal opinion, is, having that support, hearing from others, knowing that you're not alone in this. And that there's not that you want any other women to suffer, but you know, you're not alone in your suffering or whatever you got going on. And having that community can be such a just kind of reassuring, if you will.
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. Yeah, and maybe make it not seem so scary.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Right.
So, Sophia came back and she said, does the decrease in estrogen possibly contribute to developing dementia?
That's a good question. I would be inclined to ask the experts as it relates to that, because I've not heard it linked to that specifically, but it would be interesting to know whether that's the case. And those are, again, the sorts of questions that we plan to ask the experts in during our events.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah, so, Janita said in a launch meeting, someone said something powerful. We do not have to suffer. No, you do not.
Yeah.
And that's what we are hoping that you don't. That's really the purpose, one of the purposes of this, us creating the menopause group, is so that women don't have to suffer. Um,
Yeah.
Definitely not alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have to be alone in this whole experience. There is support. There is a listening ear, and we'll be giving lots of tools, tips, and techniques that can be used, not only us, but the experts that'll be on, related to the various topics that we have lined up for the year. So we're
Yeah.
excited about it.
Yes, we are. And I think some of the suffering actually, unfortunately, comes into play because there has been historically a lot of shame as it relates to
Mm,
um, um, menopause and almost like there's something wrong with me or that they're broken. And I don't know, also maybe because it has to do with reproduction. So it's kind of like, we want to sweep that under the rug and not speak to it. But
Right.
now we're actually culturally, we're seeing women be able to speak more about it and to speak and not feel like that's something that should not, like, you know, a good woman or a nice girl doesn't speak about those things,
Mhm.
to just be able to say that this is what's happening and being able to speak freely about it.
For sure. For sure. For sure. All right, so we are at about halfway through our talk. 30 minutes has flown right on by. So those of you who are just tuning in, I'm on with Sonia B. We are talking, girl, it's not just you, Menopause One-on-One. We have launched our Making It Through Menopause, a virtual community for women.
Yes.
And we did a pre-launch in November. The actual launch will be this coming Sunday. I'll pull a flyer up one more again at 6 p.m. It's a virtual community, so women from across the globe actually can participate. If you did not attend the event in November, this one will be free or complimentary. But if you did, then there's a fee. We do have membership that you can do on an annual basis. We are extending.
Monthly too.
Yes, annual, monthly. We are extending our founding membership uh, offer through Sunday. So if women want to take advantage of that, they can. Men can gift a woman a membership or can sponsor them for one of these sessions. So definitely men, for the women in your lives, you may want to do something like that. But we offer two events a month. One will be a sister circle, which will be what we are kicking off on Sunday. The second event will have an expert in the field of menopause, specifically on whatever topic we will be covering. And the next event will be on January 23rd, and that topic will be Menopause One-on-One, what every woman should know. And we'll have the expert to talk about that. So
Okay.
just want to make sure you all are aware, and we want you to participate. We want you to be part of this conversation and part of the sister circle because we think it's important. All right.
Yes. So I have my little trusty list here with all of the different body functions that are impacted by estrogen.
Okay.
And I wanted to go through some of them just so we can hear the things that, estrogen, because it's fluctuating and as it's declining, these are some of the systems in our bodies that are being impacted by the decline. We
Mhm,
all know, of course, it impacts menstrual cycle regulation,
mhm,
temperature regulation. That is why we're having hot flashes, night sweats, and heat intolerance.
mhm,
Sleep regulations. That's why often our quality of sleep is missing and waking up in the middle of the night. Mood and stress response. So usually that lends to irritability, anxiety, low mood, emotional reactivity, cognition. I just talked about that and how it impacts the brain. It also impacts libido and sexual response. Our urinary tract support, your pelvic floor and connective tissue support, your muscle maintenance and recovery, skin thickness and hydration. And sometimes skin starts to thin.
mhm,
And we also lose skin actually becomes more dry. Collagen support is impacted and elasticity.
mhm,
Your hair is impacted. And I think that's been surprising for some of us, like, oh, you're starting to lose some hair.
mhm,
Um, so it sheds and also some of the texture may change. Cardiovascular, which is a really big deal because the estrogen actually helps keep your blood vessels flexible. So as a result, when the estrogen starts to decline, you're talking about one those becoming more stiff that can lead to high blood pressure, and also the handling of cholesterol. So there's so much inflammation, migraines, gut health, body fat distribution. There's a lot that estrogen actually helps our bodies with in terms of when it's present. So when
mhm,
it goes away, that can really make a big difference in terms of, one, as we're having that transition. So going from having estrogen support your body in so many different ways, and then now having that decline, it can really feel crazy making, because it's like, well, what is all of this stuff, and you're having all these different symptoms in your body, and you're
Mm-hmm.
not knowing why you're feeling all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, but like it was just said on the screen, we don't have to do it alone, and you don't have to suffer, because there are different things. At the last meeting, it was talked about hormone replacement therapy, and we actually, on for our February event, that's what we're going to be bringing experts in to talk about that, and how they're now saying that it's not as dangerous as it has been taught, that you should stay away from it because of how it could possibly impact your but it could raise your, was it risk as it relates to breast cancer and a lot of other things. And so but now they're discovering that maybe it's not, the risk is not as much as it was assessed.
Right.
So yeah, so these are some of the things that we want to talk about, so that we're even learning. Okay, so we have a couple of members that were saying that they have had HRT, and how that made a big difference for the symptoms, and how they feel like they're back to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But if
Yeah.
we don't know that these are options,
Right.
you're just out here just thinking you have to muddle through.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So let's see. Sophia said a menopause quote, hell in a hand cart. Just saying, I understand, Sophia. I get it. I really do. All right. Sister Abaniche just joined us. She said, peace and blessings, everyone. Critical subject. Diet
Yeah.
plays a huge part. Products containing white sugar and dairy, also lack of hydration, can also affect the hot flashes some are experiencing. Says soy
Thank you for that.
milk tea is really good too. A lack of estrogen and high cortisol levels can contribute to symptoms. I would do HRT after a hormone panel. Check the thyroids and also pituitary gland hormones as well. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes, definitely. Yeah, and we are going to actually have one of the months is going to be about nutrition and menopause, because yeah,
Mhm.
some of the ways that we used to eat, it's time for a shift. I know
Yes.
one of the reasons I believe that I didn't experience, I've not experienced hot flashes, praise God. And love and blessings to all my sisters that have, but I believe that because I had before that eliminated sugar
Mhm.
and any white foods. So so I believe that that had a lot to do. Oh, and alcohol. I had eliminated that as well. So I believe that because I wasn't consuming those things, I believe that it actually may have supported not having hot flashes. I don't know that for sure, because some people have it and actually have hot. Some people don't have hot flashes and may be eating all of what I just mentioned. So there's different. All of our bodies behave differently, but I believe that may have been the reason why I didn't have those symptoms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, if you all heard, and the men that are on the chat too, that's a lot. There's a lot that we can potentially experience. So again, it's not just hot flashes and night sweats. It is a lot. And we don't even fully know all of what's going on. And again, many of the things that Sonya you just mentioned, we would have not attributed that to menopause.
No, you would just be like, I mean, okay, I don't know what's wrong with me, and then it's the wanting to hide, because you want to hide the fact that you feel like you're tripping. Like
Mhm.
nobody wants to be tripping. Nobody wants to have be taking the heads off of people when they come in the room. Nobody wants that. Nobody's signing up. Oh, where's that list? I want to sign up to be the person that's taking people's heads off.
Mm,
Nobody's signing up for that.
no.
So yeah,
I don't want it.
not
Don't
voluntarily.
no. No, no, no. All right. Warren said, question 3. If menopause comes with heat, frustrations, and forgetfulness, taught with no patience, is it to make me humbler and stronger for being quiet, or does it give men wisdom? All of the above.
All his questions are all of the above.
All
Every
of the
one of
above,
them.
because he know the answer to these questions, but
Right.
don't say
Exactly.
nothing anyway. All right. Roz is on with us. Thank you for being here. She said, "Yep, we all react differently. Womanhood is not for the weak at all,
It is not.
at
It is
all,
not.
at all."
No, it is not.
Okay, so Janita is talking with Sister Ebonice. I'm gonna let you all have that conversation. Cherie,
Oh, okay.
Joyce, greetings. She said, Happy New Year. This is a much needed topic. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Oh goodness. Y'all are funny tonight with these comments. We have a testimony. All right. Yes, very good. So again, we talk symptoms, and again, there's a lot. We'll dive into that deeper on Sunday, but we just wanted to, that list. When I first heard it the first time, I was like blown away, and
Yeah.
still I'm kind of blown away when I hear you read it again. But there are things that can be done. So let's talk about, and Sister Ebonice is putting some stuff in the chat as well. She mentioned pregvagen and mushrooms cordyceps can help with brain fog too. So
Good. Right.
do your research. Check with your doctors, because we are not medical professionals on here, but we want to just make you aware of what could potentially be going on with you.
Yeah,
Um,
and that there's solutions.
and that there are solutions. So that was what I was segueing into, is some of the potential solutions to some of the symptoms that we talked about. So what did you find, Sonia B?
So one, and so I want to say too before I do that is part of the membership, we're going to have a library with resources. So the main thing, I believe that our whole point is to educate, or as it relates to menopause,
Mm-hmm.
to educate and support, so that we one, have more access to information.
Right.
We know what we and more access to resources and professionals that can actually tell us what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, definitely, what are the some of the tools? One, a couple things that you want to that is really important as we're navigating menopause. One is tracking unawareness, and I think I forget the sister that just mentioned it earlier. You can't talk to your doctor about what's going on if you're not aware.
Oh,
So
Janita.
one, yeah, okay, thank you, Janita. So being able to track your symptoms, being able to write down, start being aware of, I was able to sleep these days, not able to sleep these days, got up at this time these days, but having it kind of be in the fog, or kind of be where we're not clear about it, it's going to make it more challenging to be able to communicate, so that a doctor is able to hear what you're experiencing and support you with that. So
Right.
you want to make sure you're doing stuff like tracking your symptoms, sleep, triggers, and also, of course, the cycle changes. And I
Right.
think that for the most part, all we know is track your symptoms until you, until you've gone 12 months without a cycle. And actually, honestly, I have to say that the impression is, and then magically it's going to be over. So that's all it's almost like you just think it's going to be over. Okay. As
Mm.
soon as I go 12 months, we just waiting for those 12 months so that it'll be over, not knowing, girl, it's just getting started. Like the stuff that you're about to experience is going to be interesting. So patterns give you power. The more you can be aware of your patterns, the more you can be aware of what's happening.
Mm.
Also, you want to do nervous system support. So stuff like breath work, walking, stretching, decompression. Also, try to avoid being over caffeinated, and definitely avoid being under rested. So as much as you can, being gentle
Mhm.
and finding ways to support your nervous system so that we're reducing some of these symptoms.
Yeah.
Also, helping to support your sleep. And so sleep is like more important than ever, making sure that the room is cool. That you have a consistent routine, that you may be using magnesium, and talking to your provider about that. And again, avoiding alcohol and sugar, and also late at night with those things.
Mm.
Um, let's see. sexual wellness, wanting to make sure you're using lube and moisturizer, pelvic floor support if you need it. And then also talking to your clinician, but you want to make sure that you know what to say. So being able to learn as much as you can about your body so that
Mhm.
you can then talk to a professional and get as much information as you can. So
Mhm.
those are some of the things. And of course, we've heard nutrition is a big thing. Being able to use herbal remedies. Those are, looking at maybe the supplements and things that you're taking.
Right.
Um, yeah, so there's so many different possibilities. And of course, it's all trial and error because what works for one person is not going to work for everybody.
Very true.
So you're needing to go into this almost with an open mind so that you are trying things and then seeing what works for you and really being laser present to what's happening for yourself so that you can see, is it working or what's not working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got a few comments. Let's see. Sophia said lion's mane is a great one too. So lion's mane is a type of mushroom for those who may not be familiar with that. Janita, she said, when you say 12 months without a cycle, is it possible to see spotting during that time?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I would say so if from my own experience, I experienced spotting, but I don't think it was an actual cycle. So but I would, again, this is where we're going to lean on because we have a whole advisory board. So we're going to be deferring to those professionals for specific questions like that are not like really common knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the sort of things that we're going to be finding the resources for to support each other. And that information might be right there in the room when we're talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. All right. So I'm gonna read this one, even though it's not to the group, but Sister Ebonice talked about the labs being telling some of the things that they think are insignificant are clues to what is really going on. Rearrange your life and organize so you won't overstimulate your system. So I just want to say, as it relates to that, the whole overstimulation piece, you know, certain things that maybe procedures or what have you can send you into menopause. So speaking from personal experience, having had a partial hysterectomy and not a full, was one of the reasons I did not, was because my doctor said it would send me straight into menopause, and she was trying
Mm,
to avoid that in addition to
right.
me recovering from a major surgery. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so, when she mentioned overstimulation, I thought about like how, certain things that our bodies go through can be stressful to our bodies, can overstimulate our bodies. So definitely pay attention to what's going on with you. What, like you said, maybe journaling these things down. Whether you slept through the night, how many times you got up, what your appetite is like, what kind of cravings you're having, whatever it is, the brain fog, all of those types of things. Just really be aware of your body. So that's
Yeah.
all. Yeah. All right. Abonisha said our body is reminding us that we have forgotten to put it first. Women
Yeah.
are overstimulated and stressed because they wear too many hats. Listen to your body and slow down. Ooh. I had to give
Yeah,
some.
that's what I really love about some of the books and stuff that I've come across that talk about the spiritual aspects as it relates to menopause and how it's supporting us in taking back um I would say not really your power, but learning to stand up for yourself and learning how to put yourself first, which is often something that we don't do based on the fact that there's so many different things pulling on you. There's, children, there's spouse, there's household, there's work,
Right.
it's all of these things. And so somehow we wind up at the person at the bottom of our totem poles.
Mhm.
So my I've heard it said that it in some ways is supporting women in learning to prioritize yourself.
Yes, love that. I missed somebody that joined us, Brother Quasi in Atlanta. Peace and blessings. Happy 2026. Thank you for joining us. We're talking menopause tonight, Quasi, so you can pass this information along to the women in your lives, your sisters, your nieces, your cousins, all of those folks. Let them know. All right. My mom said she saw a book today, Age Like a Girl by Mindy Pelz on Tamara's show. Okay. Maybe was it really related to menopause? Ma, let us know. And then so
Mm.
crocheting keeps me from cussing too much. I love that.
I know that's right. Yeah, and I've actually heard that, doing stuff with your hands like a crocheting, that sort of,
Mm,
having a hobby like that, something about crossing your hands that also may help with, brain functioning as well. But,
okay.
doing more stuff like that, that is causing you to be creative, causing you to calm down and be present in the moment,
Mhm.
and to helping to regulate your nervous system. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you for sharing that, Sophia. Warren, okay, my final question. If menopause causes hot flashes, mood swings, etc., is there a manual for men? If so, where do we find it? Or is it that we must improvise and hope for the best? And do we pray and fast? Yep, all of the above. And watch Conversations with Nicole and sponsor the woman in your life with the Making It Through Menopause Sister Circle. Sponsor somebody, Warren. Sponsor somebody. How about that?
And there are lots of books, about menopause. So it's not like, these they're not resources available. It just is, is not commonly talked about. But yeah, there certainly, yeah, all about menopause books that you can actually, find that would,
Hmm.
if we're not joking. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, Warren, we feel like we don't come with a manual either. That's part of the problem.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, very good. So I want to get the viewers involved a little bit in terms of just, folks are chiming in saying it's a needed topic or, you know, tagging a friend or what have you. So what are some things that you all are interested in knowing about menopause? Because I'm really curious. I have these conversations on a regular basis, on a weekly basis with women, just casual kind of conversation that comes up. And I think part of it is, because many times when we are crossing each other's paths, we are going through, whether that is having a brain fog moment or a personal summer or, whatever, right? So we show some compassion amongst one another and because we see we're going through, we pulling out that fan or some tissue or just trying to get it together in the midst of wherever we are, right? So, yeah, I'm curious about the things that you all are curious about as it relates to menopause, or the things that you want to know more about as it relates to menopause. Uh,
Yeah, and I think, yeah, I mean, we saw a lot of questions that came up just, so far, in the comments, and we see how many questions there can be because there's just so much to know, and, it's such a broad subject.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
Again,
see.
hence the experts.
Right, hence the experts. All right. Ebonice, she said, in our indigenous cultures and teachings, women view the body as sacred and use herbs and oils to heal. Ghee in the navel is also a good solution. Okay.
Okay.
Not
All
familiar,
right.
but thank you for sharing. She said, Tai Chi will reset your mind, body, and spirit. Stop doing rigorous exercises that are not body or age related. Ooh.
Yeah, right. That's the other thing because actually stressful, exercise can actually, make you gain or make it difficult to lose weight because because of the level of cortisol that's being, that you're now
Produce.
experiencing. Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Sister Glover is on. She said, unfortunately, thank you for being here. She said, unfortunately, menopause did not provide an absentee slip for behavior as believers. So we must really be prayerful to keep Galatians 5 and 22, fruit of the Spirit. I wish this wasn't out or you could share. Okay. Yes, because I know it, we can be a little feisty during our moments.
Girl, a little.
Yeah, mom came back and said that I guess the book was about menopause and it includes foods that help women during this time. All right, so
Nice.
go back. The book was Age Like a Girl. So
Oh, okay. Okay.
look that one
Nice.
up.
Yeah,
Age
we'll
Like
have to check
by,
that out.
by Mindy Peltz. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. But
Mm,
that and that makes sense. The even the pum pum parties that Nicole and I have had, when we talked about menstruation and I broke down the different phases of menstruation and different foods that would be helpful during those different phases. There's just so much that we don't understand about how a woman's body operates and some of the things that would be really good for us,
mhm,
especially if you're not operating in a community that is very focus on herbs and natural eating and that sort of thing. So,
mhm,
just with one of the last pum pum parties, after I, because we did a segment where I taught about, or where we taught about products that are toxic for the body, and also products that impact the reproductive system,
mhm,
and um, told and suggested the women stay away from a few products, specifically always, and some others that are actually not necessary. They're actually toxic and not not as good as they are advertised to be.
mhm.
And we had women come back the next meeting and say, "Wow, I stopped using those products, and the bleeding change. You know, my cycle changed. I didn't feel the numbness that I typically experience, and all of these sort of things." So there's a lot. I would say not just for menopause, but we're focused on menopause right now. But there's a lot for us to learn about just the care of our bodies in general.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Sophia said, thank you for the book, Mama. And Janita said, please add, how does race, genetics, and socioeconomic status affect menopause care? Ooh,
Got
that's
it. Okay,
mm,
got it. We will add that to the list.
we will add it.
And we'll look and see which one of our segments. I mean, we actually build up a year in terms of the segments. Speaking of which, do you want
Mm,
me to pull them up?
yes, please. Uh,
Okay.
Janita said another topic, reframing the hot topic, educating the group that it's much more than being hot, I think is what she meant to say. Yes.
Oh, got it.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. It is. All right. Brandy
Okay,
Mackey.
so
Do a book club on one of these books. Okay.
that would be, yeah, that would be, hey, Brandy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that would be really interesting. If you also the what we have broken out for the months is one, um, we'll do a month about heart health, and as I mentioned, uh,
HC.
yeah, menopause greatly affects heart health, and that's why often the numbers go up in terms of Black women being at risk as it relates to heart disease, as a result of going through menopause. We know about flashes in sleep. We're going to have a month about mental health as it relates to um, uh, menopause. Sexuality, of course, that's a whole different topic in and of itself. Relationships, because as we see with Mr. Warren coming on making a comment every other comment,
Look, and
it impacts our relationships, and not just your not just our um spousal relationships or our romantic relationships, but relationships with your children, relationships with a lot of people in your life.
mm,
Nutrition, movement, spirituality, work, that's a big topic. And I'm working on a menopause specialist who actually uh, specializes in menopause and work, and she actually goes into workplaces to teach about how menopause is affecting women and how it shows up in the workplace. holistic healing, and then also, as I mentioned, hormone replacement. So that's just some of the things that we're going to touch on, but that we were able to fill up a year in terms of that schedule. And I'm sure there's a lot more that, that we can actually speak about.
Absolutely. All right. Sophia said, hot, aka spontaneous combustion, girl. About to blow all the way up. Yes. All right. And Miss Jasmine just joined us. Welcome, Jazzy. Happy New Year. All right. Ebonice said, can you please explain why the glands in the eyes dry
Dry out. Dry out. Dry out. I think she got I in there too many times.
Yeah.
Dry out because of menopause. Okay, we'll add that to the list.
Yeah, we'll add it to the list. Alrighty. All right. Any other questions? Any other concerns? Any other topics you want us to address in our circle?
And also, as we're looking for the professionals and the experts that are going to speak each month, and if you have any suggestions, let us know those too. But right now we're curating a list of folks that we know would be good to speak to most of these topics.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Well, I definitely want to mention once again that we have our event coming up. It's a virtual event, so you don't have to leave the comfort of your home. It'll be on this coming Sunday, January 11th, 6 p.m. The registration is on the flyer, but also I'm going to put it up in the comments one more again so that you all can just click on the link. Boom, there you go. And if you did not attend the pre-launch in February, this first session will be complimentary or free. But if you did attend the other one, we are offering our founding membership through next Sunday, which is deeply discounted. And you can do that on a monthly basis. You can do it on an annual basis. But this is for women of all ages and in all stages of menopause, peri, full menopause, post-menopause. So please share this with someone that you think may benefit from this. This is, again, a ladies-only event. And we really want to support women who are going through this change of life. So anything you want to say as it relates to it, Sonia B?
No, I'm just as I mentioned, I was just moved from the last one, or during the last one, to just hear women being able to be provided with solutions that they didn't know that were possible. And also to have a different to be able to shift the conversation around thinking that there's something wrong with them or that they're crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I'm going to give you an opportunity to give some closing remarks. And I see your comment, Sophia. I'm going to get to it in a minute. So, Sonia, I know you are part of Cocktails and Conversations, but you are also Sonia B. So tell the folks how they can connect with you.
Oh, okay. Yes. So you can check me out at I have Instagram, Cocktails with a Sexologist is the Instagram handle. In addition, you can go to my link. I guess was it a landing page, SoniaBonline.com.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Well, I surely do appreciate you being on with me tonight. This has been a great conversation. Hopefully, we have shed some light on, this menopause experience with this menopause one-on-one, conversation. And let me get back to Miss Sophia's comment. Please hit the like button before you go. Yes, because I fail to do that oftentimes. But yes, please like and share, subscribe. Conversations with Nicole. We're here Mondays and Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. We're back. It's 2026. We got a whole bunch of great shows lined up for you. So you don't have to miss any of the conversations. Go ahead and like, go ahead and subscribe and share. Share this with somebody that you think would benefit from this conversation, would benefit from the sister circle that we are offering. Because again, we are excited about it. We are curating it. And we want you all to be your best selves. We really, really do. All right. So thank you, Sophia, for reminding me. All right. Nicole, Merritt, great show. Thank you for being here, Nicole. I appreciate that so much. Brandy, Mackie, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Thank
Yes.
you, Jasmine. Yes, and share. Tell them, Jazzy. All right, Janita, great information. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Katina.
Roz, thank you for the conversation. You are welcome, my friend. Appreciate you so much. So let's keep this conversation going. I know this can be a little taboo, but it's needful. And we need to normalize having these types of conversations because
Yes, we do.
we need it. We need it.
Yes, we do. We're striving for wellness.
Absolutely. And cousin Marcella, thank you so much. Love you. All right, good people. Y'all have a great one, and we will see y'all next time. Bye.